Hey guys, this is Abnerd coming at you with my first video on the channel. Just got into the One Piece card game since was really excited for it when it before leading to it coming out, and decided to get into the game and really hardcore play it. Was really having a crazy amount of fun playing the game, and decided to go ahead and just start a channel and start uploading. I mean, if I get viewers, I get viewers. If I don't, I don't. I'm not really doing it for that. I'm doing it for the love of the game, and I really like it. And just thought, it would be fun to just share deck lists and stuff that I'm playing and stuff, just current builds that I like, and just maybe see if, other people out there want to discuss in the comments. I like talking about the game, so it's pretty fun. But decided to take Zoro's for the first time to my locals today. Never played Zoro at my locals. Played plenty of locals, but never played Zoro. And finally decided to just bite the bullet and play Zoro. Um, After testing with him a lot in the sim, and him being like a key deck, a key leader I wanted to make since before the game came out. Um, I knew eventually it was gonna happen, and I'm very glad it did. It went really good. It was 11 man locals today. Uh, I went 2-1. Ended up losing only out to the winner that was playing Law. And a really good player. He's playing Law for like probably since the start of the OP1. OPO1 format. So yeah, he's been grinding, and yeah, he's a really good player. So I'm not really mad. And it was a really good game. It all came down to him having that extra attack with another Zoro or not. So it was really fun. Really good games today. First round I went against a Luffy. Then second round I went against the Law player that ended up beating me, and then third round I ended up uh, going against undefeated because he got down paired with me, and due to me beating him, it ended the tournament at a 3 round instead of going to a fourth round due to the odd number of people there. So yeah, but all in all, it was a really good day. Really like how the deck performed. I feel like I wouldn't really change anything out of the current build right now because it was really good. I was finally able to finish my Dawn set as well today, so I'm pretty happy about that. Um, but yeah, so I guess we'll get right into the deck list. So first things first, the leader. I think everybody knows what the leader does by now. The leader's pretty notorious for what he does. He, just so super simple, which makes him just that much better, honestly, in my opinion. There's no kind of stipulations or anything to it. It's just as long as you have that Don attached to him, he gets that extra thousand to everybody on the board. So your fives become sixes, your fours become fives, your threes become fours that only need one Don to swing. So, in my opinion, just staying low to the ground is really good with this deck in terms of just putting out bodies on board, being able to protect them, and then finding a way to just swing for as much 5 or 6K if you have to, as much as you can. I only go above 5 or 6K if I definitely want to get more cards out of their hand. I found earlier playing this deck and testing this deck on the simulator and stuff like the OP TCG simulator. I've I found that earlier playstyle for me was going for sevens and constantly trying to get stuff out of their hand. But now I kind of realized after testing a lot that it was just better to just overall go for like a wider board, not super wide obviously, but just wide enough to where you can get 3 or 4 good 5 6K swings out of it, and then being able to protect your guys like your Zoros and stuff, getting more value out of them in multiple turns, just being able to swing multiple times just puts so much pressure on your opponent because they use so much to try to get rid of them. But yeah, so some of the event cards in the deck came in clutch today because of that. So yeah, but here we go. We'll just get straight to it. So yeah, that's the leader. And then for our one drops, we play 4 Otama. Otama I think is pretty obvious. Otama's like really good. Um, wouldn't change her for anything. She's awesome 2K counter. She'll be around for a long time, honestly. She being able to just on play minus 2K off a guy, so she's one of your outs the kid. So yeah. And then of course Nami. Don't have the pretty Namis, but don't really care. Just as long as my leader's pretty. I have the mentality, as long as my leader's pretty, I don't care about the rest of the deck. The rest of the deck can just be common. I really do not care as long as my leader's pretty, because he's the thing you're going to be looking at the most in your game. So yeah. So for Nami, of course, Searcher, Straw Hat Crew, traded cards, and then we play 4 Tony Chopper. Uh, you have to play your one drop blockers, in my opinion. It's just kind of weird not to. He comes in so clutch. Uh, Play 4 Brook. Um, he's a good, 2K counter on play. He's come up a couple times. Plus, you got to think he's a 3K body that becomes 4K, so you only need to put one Don next turn. Uh, on top for like if you have the Don on your leader, you only need to put one Don on him to make him a viable attacker as well. So, the turn that you use his effect is he's technically not already used up all his use. He's still good as an attacker after that, which I like as well. 2 Sanji. He's a 2K counter, but on top of that, he can go for those. He can give a lot of pressure for games where they're trying to only deal with your board and not doing too much with your life early game. So like if you're at 4 or 5 life still, and then your opponent's like just trying to focus on your board really bad, you can just play him. They'll just know he's a threat automatically. Just being able to put one down in your lead, activate his effect, and make him about it was like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8K swinging is just pretty disgusting. So then we play two of the other Sanji, the Rush Sanji. Uh, I've been messing around with the ratio. At first, I was playing 4 of these and decided to bump them down because I wanted to play fit in 2 Vivi. I really like 2 Vivi, but the reason I like Vivi is because she's a 1K counter. So Sanji doesn't have the 1K counter, and most of the time I found myself playing him, I always just play him and pass. So, but I did want to still keep at least 2 in my deck of him instead of going like all vanillas in terms of all Vivi or like 2 side 2 Vivi, because at worst he becomes like Vivi in terms of just playing him. At best, when you draw him and you need that one extra attack for rush, he becomes that guy if you have that. Yeah, he feels really good when those situations happen. So I don't want to end up caught slacking in those situations. But Vivi is really good too because she's a 4K 2 cost that has counter, but on top of that she's able to swing for 5K with your leader ability. So it's pretty great. Then we play 4 Zoro, of course. I think everybody knows. You gotta play 4 Zoro, no Zoro deck. So. And then we play 4 Nico Robin. This card is absolutely insane. I don't know how some people are cutting this down to like 3 or 2. I do not know. This card is amazing against your law matchup. You definitely want it against your law matchup where you're going to just regret it really bad. I wanted to secure my law matchup a lot because I know a lot more people are playing law that I decided to throw out 2 Beppo. I'm sorry, Beppo. But he is 2K. He's a 2K counter, but on top of that, he has something similar to where Nico. So, like, if you have him and Nico on board and they can't do anything about it, you're just constantly popping their weenies that they just keep putting out early game to just not let them establish a board fast enough to start dropping their guys unless they have to start hard casting them for, like, 5s and, whatever they want to do. So, he's really good he's amazing against the law matchup. And he comes up, sometimes against Kid if they would put out, like, a beige and stuff like that. But I mean, honestly, I don't see any downsides for him. If I'm trying to think about him, you can't search him, I guess, off of the straw hat traded stuff. Like Lamy, you can't search him and stuff. So, but I mean, other than that, he's just really good. Oh yeah, by the way, if you want to know what he does, same thing as Nico, but in terms of what he can kill is a 2K or less. Oh, 3K. No, it's the same thing, 3K or less. Yeah, so, but it's just he's a little weaker. So, yeah, he's ridiculous. He's still ridiculous. So it's like playing 5 Nikos in your deck. So, yeah, if you can do that. Well, 6, I'm sorry. 6. So if you can do that, then you do that. Definitely do that. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking of. At worst, he's a 2K counter. At best, he's another Nico Robin. So that's a really high ceiling for him. We played 2 Trafalgar Law for 4 drops. And also 2 Uta. Because being able to grab stuff back from the drop. I know some Zoro players don't play her. I like playing her. Because I like being able to grab back like stuff like your Nikos and your Zoros. You go against Saki players who like open up a lot of removal for them and stuff like that. You can just start grabbing stuff back. And then, when they're trying so hard to kill like your Zoro, and then being able to drop this next turn and you're just devastated because you're like, oh my god, he just got it right back. It does not matter. And then on top of that, next turn she becomes a 5K with your leader ability, so she gets an attack as well. So once again, pretty disgusting. Trafalgar Law is like a kind of a backup Otama in my opinion. He is 1K counter, but on top of that, he's able to on play minus 2K off of a guy. But what makes him really good too is that he's a 5K that becomes 6K. So you only got to put one down on him to hit that 7K sweet spot if you have to. If you like absolutely have to. For our only 5 drops, obviously we play Luffy. You have to play him. Starter at Luffy is amazing. Attached to Don becomes unblockable. He has Rush. He's just absolutely disgusting. Stole my game against Kid with him. He tapped out himself to establish a 5-drop law and then a killer as well, and then he had no life, so just ended up just playing him. Just pretty much revealed him and just realized he's like, okay, I just lose. And then One Shanks. I like the One Shanks. I don't think I'll be changing the One Shanks. If I do take out the One Shanks, it'd be for Jambay. But don't see myself doing that. Don't see the reason for it, honestly. As much as I like Jambay, I ended up cutting him out of this build. So that's just a sneak peek of, the kind of events I'm playing. But yeah, Shanks is really good. I like Shanks. We play 4 Jet Pistol. Yeah, we get to our events. 4 Jet Pistol. 3 guard point. Oh my god, this card is nuts. Saw another local player that was playing it. I asked him how many he was playing, and he told me 4 in his Luffy deck, and I decided to just like, let me take that, kind of thinking to my Zoro deck and decide how like just the reasoning for him, like the reasoning he was giving me is just like so good that I was just like, oh man, like I should do that and then try. And this card came up so much today. It was just being able to protect my Zoros and stuff like that when they kept spending 2 Dawn to try to swing at it. It's devastating. It's just a devastating feeling because they think they're gonna get 2 cards out of your hand at minimum, but then they just see the guard point. They're just like, oh god. And then I was 2 Red Hawk to end out the deck. Red Hawk is really good against your green matchup and your law matchup, so really good. Yeah, so cards to consider, I guess. Jambay is one. I would definitely consider Jambay in the deck. Jambay's like really good. Another card I would consider is probably if you're trying to go for more of the high end, like Beckman, like the vanilla Ben Beckman, but 7-drop 9K. But I don't know. I've seen some people playing him just to try to have like a better high end, like on the simulator and stuff, and I just don't understand it in my opinion. So I'll probably, that's probably actually a bad idea when I think about it. So you just, Jambay, probably Jambay, honestly, and then maybe even like max out on guard points, going from 3 to 4. Honestly, I'm even considering it. I'm thinking of taking out like Shanks or maybe even 1 Jet Pistol. How good guard point is. It's just how powerful guard point is. Like I'm just thinking of even taking out 1 Jet Pistol for it. Just thinking about that is just like, yeah, it just has so much value. Being able to open that, like in my 3rd round, in the final round against Kid, I was able to open Red Hawk, guard point, Zoro, and then Nami with I think it was 2K like Brook or something. It was just disgusting. Yeah, like, it was just super disgusting because after my like first initial draw, he went first. Off my draw, I ended up drawing it to, I think it was Vivi or another Zoro. But I was able to establish by like turn 3. I was establishing like I had 2 Zoros on board, a Nami, and then there was someone else. But I was able to protect them and stuff with guard point and Red Hawk. Between guard point and Red Hawk, it was able to protect them. He used Nico to. Oh, it was a blocker. My bad. It was Tony, and he used it Nico to arrest it and then try to swing, and then with X Drake, the 6K X Drake with 1 Dawn on it, and then I went guard point and he was like, oh damn. But and I was even actually willing to drop 2 cards out of my hands in order to save the other Zoro, which I did. And then just applying that much pressure early game was just too much because it was just 4 good attacks. Because then the next turn I ended up just playing just body after body after body. It's just ridiculous. But yeah. Let's see. That's about it. Really happy with the way the deck did. Um, wouldn't really change it. It's really awesome. I'll be posting another deck list for like my kid deck that I really like playing, and also a blue crocodile deck that I like playing that I actually came in second at locals with as well. Um, and I was pretty happy with the way that deck played. So, yeah. Um, yeah, look forward to those. Thank you for any kind of comments or anything. You like, subscribe, I guess. Just just leave a comment down below. I just like to just discussing stuff about this game. I'll definitely be entering like the online regionals. Can't make it to the treasure cups due to I am a father, so I do I do have kids and stuff. I need to make sure I can't be traveling like that, but I do appreciate that Bandai does support online regionals and stuff like that to allow people like me to still participate and still get the even at least the participation stuff, because even that looking absolutely insane. Let me know down below if you do want me to cover like even the participation stuff, because that stuff looks insane, and it is just I feel like it's so worth going over the online regional to actually in terms of its pricing, the reasons to enter, just the pros and cons overall. Which is spoiler, there's a lot of pros for entering. So if you do have an interest in One Piece, unfortunately a lot of the product is out. I do understand anybody's pain out there that the product is very very hard to come by, and if you didn't get in early, it's really hard now for you to get in. It feels kind of gatekeepy in my opinion. I really don't like it. Just gatekeeping, kind of like certain like newer players kind of coming to the game now are just kind of taken aback by that. They're just like, oh wow, like there's no kind of product at all. Like they really sold out everywhere, and anytime you do find any on the shelves, it's just gone instantly within a day. So check, but I mean, depending on where you live, check your local stores, check your Target, check your Walmart, check your Barnes and Nobles, stuff like that. They might have product for you, and just give the game a try. I mean, just you do need the starter deck. So, if, in my opinion, if you find starter decks, do buy them, because the core cards out of the starter decks are so important. It's like a lot of the cards in this deck are like literally starter deck cards. So you're gonna need a lot of stuff like that. Like in terms of guard point, jet pistol. As good as jet pistol is, it's literally a starter deck card. Um, let me see. Luffy's are starter deck. Let's see. The Vivies are, which is, I mean, that's all right. The Rush Sanji is, if you end up wanting to play more. Brook, Tony, and yeah, that's about it. But those are really key cards for the deck, in my opinion, that you really need to make sure you have, especially Jet Pistol of all things. And then green on top of that has a lot of good stuff in its starter deck, and the ratios for green is just so good, and even may warrant only having to buy one because of the ratios that comes with it. So yeah, that so if you want to go the green route, it's probably a little easier in your pocket. But and then blue, you'll have to definitely buy two because of the Love Love Mellow. But then you come around to purple, and purple you'll definitely have to buy two. So I feel like everything but green you have to buy two. So yeah. But yeah, once again, thank you guys for tuning in, and see you.